For years, Lad Drummond has been the quiet, steady force behind one of America's most beloved families. As the husband of Ree Drummond, better known as the Pioneer Woman, Lad has become a familiar face to millions of fans who have followed their journey from the wide, open prairies of Oklahoma to the bright lights of television and best-selling cookbooks. Together, Lad and Ree have built a life rooted in family, hard work, and the traditions of ranching. But now, heartbreaking news has shaken the Drummond family to its core. After his wife's tragic diagnosis, Lad Drummond is saying goodbye to the life he's always known, and fans everywhere are left reeling. The Drummond story has always been one of resilience and love. Lad, a fourth-generation cattle rancher, grew up on the sprawling Drummond Ranch in Pawhuska, Oklahoma. He met Ree when she was a city girl with dreams of law school, and their unlikely romance quickly became the stuff of legend. Together, they raised 4 children, weathered the ups and downs of ranch life, and turned their family's story into a multimedia empire. Through it all, Lad has been the rock, stoic, hardworking, and fiercely devoted to his family. But behind the scenes, the Drummonds have faced their share of challenges. Ranching is a demanding life, filled with early mornings, long days, and the constant threat of drought, storms, and economic uncertainty. Lad has always taken these hardships in stride, relying on his deep faith and the support of his loved ones. Yet nothing could have prepared him for the devastating news that would change everything. It began with subtle signs, fatigue, unexplained aches, and a sense that something just wasn't right. Ree, always the optimist, brushed off her symptoms at first, chalking them up to the stress of a busy life. But as the months went by, her condition worsened. Doctors' visits led to tests, and tests led to a diagnosis that no one wanted to hear. The details of Ree's illness have been kept private, but those close to the family describe it as a life-altering, heartbreaking blow. For Lad, the news was shattering. He had always seen himself as the protector, the one who could fix any problem with hard work and determination. But this was a battle he couldn't fight with his hands or his strength. Watching his wife struggle with her health, Lad was forced to confront the fragility of life and the limits of his own power. Friends say he was devastated, often retreating to the quiet of the ranch to process his grief and fear. As Ree began treatment, the Drummond family rallied around her. Lad became her primary caregiver, putting aside his own needs to support his wife through every doctor's appointment, every sleepless night, and every moment of uncertainty. The couple's children, now grown, returned home to help, and the family's close-knit bond became more important than ever. Through it all, Lad remained steadfast, his love for Ree shining through in the smallest acts of kindness and care. But as the months wore on, it became clear that life on the ranch would never be the same. The demands of running a cattle operation, managing a business, and caring for a loved one with a serious illness proved overwhelming. Lad, who had always prided himself on his work ethic, began to realize that he couldn't do it all. The decision to step back from ranching was not an easy one, but it was made out of love and necessity. For fans of the Pioneer Woman, the news of Lad's goodbye is both shocking and deeply sad. The Drummonds have always seemed larger than life, symbols of strength, resilience, and the enduring power of family. But now, they are facing a challenge that no amount of hard work or optimism can overcome. Lad's decision to put his family first is a testament to his character, and a reminder that even the strongest among us are vulnerable to life's tragedies. As Lad Drummond says goodbye to the life he's always known, he does so with a heavy heart but also with hope. Surrounded by his family, supported by a community that loves him, and guided by his faith, Lad is facing the future with courage and grace. For the Drummonds, the road ahead is uncertain, but their love for each other remains unbreakable. As word of Ree Drummond's diagnosis spread, the outpouring of support from fans, friends, and the tight-knit community of Pawhuska was immediate and overwhelming. Messages of love and encouragement flooded social media, and neighbors rallied to help the Drummonds in any way they could. For a family that had always been at the center of their community, hosting events, supporting local businesses, and opening their ranch to visitors, the sudden shift from giving to receiving was humbling. Lad, who had always been more comfortable behind the scenes, found himself at the center of attention, his quiet strength now a source of inspiration for others. The Drummond children, Alex, Paige, Bryce, and Todd, put their own lives on hold to be there for their parents. Each of them brought their unique strengths to the family's new reality: Alex's organizational skills, Paige's nurturing spirit, Bryce's steady presence, and Todd's humor and optimism. Together, they formed a protective circle around Ree, determined to make her as comfortable and supported as possible. Lad, meanwhile, took on the role of caretaker with the same determination he had always brought to ranching. He learned to cook simple meals, managed medications, and became an expert at reading Ree's moods and needs. But the emotional toll was immense. Lad, who had always been the family's rock, struggled with feelings of helplessness and fear. He confided in close friends that he often felt lost, unsure of how to comfort his wife or reassure his children. The ranch, once a place of solace and routine, now felt heavy with uncertainty. Every sunrise brought new challenges, and every sunset was a reminder of how much had changed. Despite the difficulties, the Drummonds found moments of grace and gratitude. Ree's illness brought the family closer together, forcing them to slow down and appreciate the small joys of daily life. Simple routines, morning coffee on the porch, family dinners, quiet evenings by the fire, became precious rituals. Lad and Ree leaned on their faith, praying together and drawing strength from the belief that they were not alone in their struggle. The support of their church and community became a lifeline, reminding them that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found. As Lad began to step back from his responsibilities on the ranch, he faced a new set of challenges. Letting go of the work that had defined him for so long was not easy. The Drummond Ranch had been in his family for generations, and Lad felt a deep sense of responsibility to honor that legacy. But he also knew that his first duty was to his wife and children. With the help of trusted ranch hands and extended family, Lad gradually handed over the day-to-day operations, focusing instead on what mattered most, being present for Ree. The decision to say goodbye to ranching was met with understanding and support from the community. Many locals had watched Lad grow up, seen him weather droughts, blizzards, and economic downturns, and knew how much the land meant to him. They respected his choice to put family first, and many offered to help in any way they could. For Lad, the transition was bittersweet. He missed the rhythm of ranch life, the early mornings, the sound of cattle, the satisfaction of a hard day's work. But he also found a new sense of purpose in caring for Ree and supporting his family. Through it all, Lad and Ree's love for each other remained unshakable. Friends described their relationship as a true partnership built on mutual respect, shared values, and a deep sense of humor. Even in the face of illness, they found ways to laugh, to reminisce about happier times, and to dream about the future. Lad's devotion to Ree became a beacon of hope for those around them, a reminder that love can endure even the greatest trials. As the Drummonds navigate this new chapter, they do so with courage, faith, and the unwavering support of their community. Lad's decision to say goodbye to ranching is not just an end, but a new beginning, a chance to focus on what truly matters and to cherish every moment with the people he loves most. As the weeks turned into months, the Drummond family settled into a new rhythm, one defined less by the demands of ranching and more by the needs of healing and togetherness. For Lad, the transition was both challenging and eye-opening. He had always been a man of action, used to solving problems with his hands and his grit. Now, he was learning that sometimes the greatest strength lies in simply being present, in offering comfort and companionship when there are no easy answers. Ree's illness brought with it a host of new routines. Doctor's appointments, treatments, and periods of rest became the anchors of the family's days. Lad, who had once spent his mornings checking fences and moving cattle, now found himself sitting quietly by Ree's side, holding her hand and listening to her fears and hopes. The couple's conversations, once filled with talk of ranch business and family plans, shifted to deeper topics: faith, gratitude, and the meaning of resilience. The Drummond children continued to play a vital role in supporting their parents. Alex and Paige took turns managing household tasks and keeping spirits high, while Bryce and Todd helped with chores around the ranch and made sure their mother never felt alone. The family's bond, always strong, became even more unbreakable in the face of adversity. They learned to lean on each other, to share the burden of worry, and to celebrate even the smallest victories. Good day, a shared laugh, a moment of peace. For Lad, the hardest part was accepting that he couldn't fix everything. He had always prided himself on being the provider and protector, the one who could weather any storm. But illness is a different kind of challenge, one that requires patience, vulnerability, and a willingness to accept help. Lad found himself relying on friends, neighbors, and even strangers who reached out with offers of support. The experience was humbling, but it also opened his eyes to the power of community and the kindness of others. As news of Lad's decision to step back from ranching spread, the response from fans and the wider ranching community was overwhelmingly supportive. Letters and messages poured in from people who had faced similar struggles, sharing their own stories of love, loss, and resilience. Many expressed admiration for Ladd's courage in putting his family first and for the example he was setting for others. The Drummonds' openness about their journey inspired countless others to cherish their loved ones and to find strength in the face of hardship. Despite the challenges, there were moments of profound beauty and connection. Ladd and Ree spent more time together than ever before, rediscovering the simple joys that had brought them together in the first place. They watched sunsets from the porch, reminisced about their early days on the ranch, and found comfort in the routines of daily life. For Ladd, these moments were a reminder that even in the midst of sorrow, there is still so much to be grateful for. The Drummond family's faith played a central role in their journey. Prayer, scripture, and the support of their church community became sources of hope and comfort. Ladd and Ree often spoke about the importance of trusting in God's plan, even when the path ahead was uncertain. Their faith gave them the strength to face each day with courage and to find meaning in their struggles. As Ladd continued to say goodbye to the life he had always known, he discovered a new sense of purpose. Caring for Ree, supporting his children, and nurturing the bonds of family became his greatest priorities. The ranch, once the center of his world, took on a new meaning, a place of memories, love, and the enduring spirit of the Drummond family. For fans, Ladd's journey is a powerful reminder that life is unpredictable, and that true strength is found not in what we accomplish, but in how we love and care for those closest to us. As the Drummonds face the future together, they do so with hope, resilience, and the unbreakable bond of family. As the seasons changed on the Drummond ranch, so too did the family's perspective on what truly mattered. The once relentless pace of ranch life slowed, replaced by a gentler rhythm centered on healing, gratitude, and togetherness. Ladd, who had always measured his days by the work accomplished and the cattle tended, began to see value in simply being present. The ranch, with its rolling pastures and endless sky, became a place of reflection, a sanctuary where the family could process their grief and find moments of peace. Ree's health journey was filled with ups and downs. Some days brought hope and progress, while others were clouded by setbacks and uncertainty. Through it all, Ladd remained by her side, his quiet strength a constant source of comfort. He learned to celebrate the small victories, a good meal, a walk outside, a shared smile, and to accept the difficult days with patience and faith. The couple's love, tested by adversity, grew even deeper as they navigated the unknown together. The Drummond children continued to be a lifeline for their parents. Alex and Paige, now adults with lives of their own, made frequent trips home, bringing laughter and light to the ranch. Bryce and Todd, still finding their way in the world, stepped up in ways that surprised even themselves. The siblings leaned on each other, sharing memories, worries, and hopes for the future. The family's group texts and late-night talks became a source of strength, a reminder that they were never alone in their struggle. For Ladd, saying goodbye to ranching was a process, not a single moment. He found it difficult to let go of the routines and responsibilities that had defined him for so long. There were days when he missed the early morning rides, the camaraderie of the ranch hands, and the satisfaction of a job well done. But he also discovered new joys, quiet mornings with Ree, afternoons spent reading or listening to music, and evenings filled with stories and laughter around the dinner table. The Drummond story resonated far beyond the borders of their ranch. Fans from across the country sent letters, emails, and messages of support, sharing their own experiences with illness, caregiving, and the challenges of letting go. Many expressed gratitude for the family's honesty and vulnerability, saying that it helped them feel less alone in their own struggles. Ladd, who had never sought the spotlight, was moved by the outpouring of love and encouragement. He realized that by sharing their journey, the Drummonds were offering hope and comfort to others facing similar trials. The family's faith remained a guiding light. Ladd and Ree continued to pray together, drawing strength from their belief that God was with them every step of the way. Their church community rallied around them, providing meals, rides to appointments, and a steady stream of prayers. The Drummonds found solace in scripture, music, and the simple act of sitting together in silence, trusting that even in the darkest moments, there was a purpose to their pain. As time went on, Ladd began to see his role in a new light. He was no longer just a rancher or a provider. He was a caregiver, a partner, and a source of hope for his family. The skills he had honed over a lifetime of hard work, patience, resilience, and determination served him well in this new chapter. He learned that strength is not just about physical endurance, but about the willingness to show up, to listen, and to love without reservation. For the Drummonds, the future remains uncertain. Ree's health continues to be a daily concern, and the family knows that there will be more challenges ahead. But they face each day with gratitude for the time they have together, and with the knowledge that their love is stronger than any hardship. Lad's decision to say goodbye to ranching is not just an end, but a testament to the power of family faith and the enduring human spirit. As the Drummond family continued to adjust to their new reality, the lessons they learned along the way became a source of strength not just for themselves, but for everyone who followed their story. Lad, once known for his stoic silence and tireless work ethic, became a symbol of vulnerability and devotion. His willingness to step away from the ranch, a legacy built over generations, spoke volumes about his priorities and the depth of his love for Ree. The community of Pawhuska, always close-knit, rallied around the Drummonds in ways that surprised even them. Friends and neighbors organized meal trains, offered to help with chores, and sent cards filled with prayers and encouragement. Local businesses, many of which had benefited from the Drummonds' support over the years, found small ways to give back, delivering groceries, running errands, or simply stopping by to check in. The outpouring of kindness was a reminder that, in times of crisis, community can be a lifeline. For Lad, accepting help was a humbling experience. He had always prided himself on his independence and self-sufficiency, but he soon realized that true strength sometimes means allowing others to step in. The support of friends, family, and even strangers gave him the energy to keep going on the hardest days. It also deepened his appreciation for the bonds that hold a community together, especially in rural places where neighbors are more like extended family. Ree, too, found comfort in the love that surrounded her. Though her illness brought pain and uncertainty, it also brought moments of profound connection. She and Lad spent hours reminiscing about their early days together, how they met, the adventures they shared, and the dreams they built side by side. Their children, now adults, became her caretakers and confidants, each bringing their own unique gifts to the family's journey. The Drummonds learned to celebrate the small victories. A good day, a shared laugh, a meal enjoyed together. As Lad's role shifted from rancher to caregiver, he discovered new strengths within himself. He became more patient, more attentive, and more attuned to the needs of those around him. The skills he had developed over a lifetime of ranching, problem-solving, perseverance, and resilience, served him well in this new chapter. He learned that love is not just about grand gestures, but about showing up, day after day, even when the road is hard. The Drummond story resonated with people far beyond Oklahoma. Letters and messages poured in from fans who had faced similar challenges, caring for a sick spouse, letting go of a beloved career, or navigating the uncertainty of a difficult diagnosis. Many wrote to say that Lad's example gave them hope, and that the family's openness about their struggles made them feel less alone. The Drummonds, in turn, found comfort in the knowledge that their story was helping others find strength and courage. Through it all, faith remained the family's anchor. Lad and Ree continued to pray together, drawing comfort from their belief that God was with them in every moment. Their church community provided spiritual support and the rituals of faith. Sunday services, shared prayers, and quiet moments of reflection became even more meaningful. The Drummonds learned to trust in the power of hope, even when the future seemed uncertain. As Lad looked back on his decision to say goodbye to ranching, he felt a sense of peace. The land would always be a part of him, but his true legacy was the family he had built and the love he had shared. The Drummonds faced each day with gratitude, knowing that every moment together was a gift. Lad's journey from rancher to caregiver was not the path he had imagined, but it was one he walked with courage, humility, and an open heart. For everyone who has followed the Drummonds' story, Lad's goodbye is a powerful reminder that life is fragile and that the most important thing we can do is love each other fiercely, no matter what challenges come our way. As the Drummond family continues to face the unknown, their story has become a beacon of hope and resilience for countless others. Lad Drummond's decision to say goodbye to ranching after his wife's tragic diagnosis is not just the end of an era. It's a testament to the enduring power of love, sacrifice, and the strength that comes from facing life's hardest moments together. In the quiet moments on the ranch, Lad and Ree have found a new kind of peace. The land that once echoed with the sounds of cattle and the bustle of daily chores now offers a different kind of comfort. a place to reflect, to heal, and to cherish the memories they've built over a lifetime. The sunsets seem a little more golden, the laughter a little more precious, and every day together is a reminder of what truly matters. For Ladd, the journey has been one of transformation. He has learned that true courage is not just about enduring hardship, but about embracing vulnerability and allowing others to help. He has discovered that love is not measured by the work we do or the roles we play, but by the way we show up for each other when it matters most. The lessons he's learned about patience, humility, and the importance of family will stay with him long after the dust has settled. Ree's illness has changed the Drummond family in ways they never could have imagined. It has brought them closer, deepened their faith, and taught them to find joy in the smallest moments. The family's willingness to share their journey, the good days and the bad, has inspired others to open up about their own struggles, creating a ripple effect of compassion and understanding. In a world that often celebrates strength and independence, the Drummonds have shown that there is also great power in vulnerability and connection. The community of Powesca continues to stand by the Drummonds, offering support in ways both big and small. Friends drop by with meals, neighbors lend a hand with chores, and strangers send letters of encouragement. The outpouring of love has been a source of comfort and strength, reminding the family that they are not alone. For Ladd, the kindness of others has been a humbling reminder of the bonds that hold a community together, especially in times of crisis. As Ladd looks to the future, he does so with a sense of acceptance and hope. The ranch will always be a part of his story, but his greatest legacy is the family he has built and the love he has shared. He knows that there will be more challenges ahead, but he faces them with the same quiet determination that has defined his life. Surrounded by his wife, children, and community, Ladd is ready to embrace whatever comes next. For fans of the pioneer woman, Ladd's goodbye is a poignant reminder that life is unpredictable and that even the strongest among us are not immune to heartbreak. But it is also a story of resilience, of finding meaning in the midst of loss, and of the unbreakable bonds that hold families together. The Drummonds' journey is a testament to the power of love, faith, and community, a story that will continue to inspire long after the cameras stop rolling. In the end, Ladd Drummond's decision to step away from ranching is not just about saying goodbye to a way of life. It is about choosing what matters most, about honoring the people you love, and about finding the courage to face the future with hope. As the sun sets over the Oklahoma prairie, the Drummond family stands together, changed by tragedy but unbroken, and ready to write the next chapter of their remarkable story.